Today, I'm going to share with you guys how to make money with your camera. You might have a DSLR laying around the house and you're probably wondering to yourself, how can I turn this into a business or even just make a little bit of money? Now, if you're watching this, odds are you're probably new here. What's going on? My name is Alfred Amaro and welcome to the Wade Gretzky Show. I'm a full-time real estate videographer and I do YouTube on the side. Now, I'd appreciate it if you could scroll down right now and definitely consider subscribing. It's free. This isn't OnlyFans, and if you don't like the content, you can always unsubscribe later. I'd really appreciate it, and you'd be supporting the channel as well as me directly. Nonetheless though, let's jump into the 5 ways you can make some money with your camera. And definitely stick around to the end because I'm going to share with you guys how I land big whales in the real estate industry. Number 1, and probably the most overlooked, is selling your prints online. That includes making a Squarespace or even a Shopify that you can link your friends to and family on Facebook as well as Instagram. And hey, even Twitter. You'd be surprised how often people want to support you, especially if you're good at what you do, including landscape photography, portraits, or hey, even something that's more overlooked is digital downloads. People love downloading wallpapers for their computers or even for their iPhone. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't really have the funds to print out my photos, you can always do this thing called print on demand. Now with Shopify and Squarespace, there are third-party apps including Printful or other apps like Printify where you can upload your art or your photos and you can have them be printed the day that someone orders them. That means you don't have to go and order 100 of them or order 500. You can just have them printed automatically and shipped directly to their house. Now, what does this mean for you? This might mean lower profit margins. However, you don't have to go out, spend any of your time or bandwidth printing these photos or even shipping them out to them. I use prints on demand for some of my clothes, as well as my threaded embroidered jackets. It's a lot to keep champion jackets in stock, and I don't have that kind of funds for that. So the minute you guys order them is the minute that they are printed and embroidered on. Same goes for photos and portraits, including canvases. The ROI on this is really limitless. Included in this category may be selling your photos to stock photo websites. Selling your photo to a stock photo site is not a bad idea, especially when you're just starting off. I'm not exactly sure what they pay out for this, but I'm sure they'd be interested in your prints. And hey, your friends or family too. Don't forget about them. And hey, speaking of friends and family, this leads me into my second point. You can get on Instagram and throw on your story different time slots that you have available. You can do birthday photos or maternity photos. My friend Teddy does these all the time and I see them pop up on my timeline constantly. The ROI on this would probably be anywhere between $50 to maybe $300. It depends how good you are, and it depends on how much people are willing to pay for you. You definitely really want to find that amount anywhere in between there to have people coming back to you every month if you can. People love watching their kids grow up and they will definitely pay anything for it. So that's definitely going to be your biggest selling point. Again, like I said, the best way to market this is by simply going onto your story, letting people know, hey, this is the date and the time I have available. And sure enough, I'm sure people will hit you up. Even if it's not for the immediate week, they will hit you up for a future time. You'd be surprised. People constantly underestimate their circle of influence. Now, this third one is only going to include a small percentage of you guys. And that third one is car dealerships. Cars are constantly coming on and off the lot every single day. And when they do, they need photos to go online. And you might be thinking to yourself, I don't really have a portfolio of cars. And well, in order to get that, you can hit up your friends with cars. And if you don't have friends with nice cars, well, you can go to used car dealerships. Used car dealerships have the most terrible photos, trust me. So any free help that they can get, I'm sure that they would be glad to have. Once you get your practice in and you build up a nice portfolio, you can definitely hit up Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, and other huge car dealerships. There is so much money to be made out there. Your ROI on this could include anywhere between $200 to $400, depending on what your rate is. My advice to you is to edit the photos right on the spot at the dealership, so that way you can get it off your hands and they can see you flip things in a timely manner. I guarantee you that they probably do not see that type of professionalism walking in the door every single day. Jumping into the number 4 spot is probably the most popular ways, and that is weddings, of course. Now, weddings are definitely not for everybody, and I want to make that super clear. I've done a handful of weddings in my time, and I'm not the biggest fan of them. Out of all the weddings I've done, I've probably really only enjoyed one, and that's because it was through family. When you're doing weddings, you have to remember that the bride and the groom have spent their whole life leading up to this day. And so everything that goes on that day really makes a significant impact on them. Any stress that you might have or any stress that they might have is amplified times 10 that day. A pro tip I have for you on this is to sit down with the bride bride and groom before the wedding, and make sure that you have a list of everybody that we want to see in photos as well as videos. Now, if you're just entering the market in this, you might want to consider just jumping in with somebody who does weddings already. And what I mean by this is being a second cameraman or a third cameraman. That way you can experience what it's like the day of, and that way you know what angles to look for, how to edit the footage, as well as just being there to experience what it's like to be there from 7 in the morning all the way to 10, 11 at night. It's an all-day event and definitely takes a lot of time. You need to consider that, as well as considering the edits. Don't be that guy that gives the bride and groom their edits 6 months later and that they are definitely not happy with it. Make sure you're very specific in what you can provide, whether that be a 3 to 5 minute video or anywhere between 50 to 200 photos. I know sometimes bride and grooms want to see every single photo that is taken. It can be a little bit difficult and they think that cameramen can't pick out the best photos. So again, it's just all give and take. You just have to fill out the process and make sure you're working with the right people. Be honest, that's the best advice I can give you. Your ROI on this can be anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 and up. If you're anywhere past the $1,500 to $2,000 mark, I recommend you getting a second camera operator. Split that profit in half and have somebody do half the work with you, whether they're being the photographer or the videographer and you doing the opposite. It takes a load off your plate and they might be able to get things that you wouldn't normally be able to get if you weren't in the exact same area at the exact same time. Trust me, at a wedding, there's always a lot going on. Now, jumping into the fifth and final thing here is real estate photography and videography. This is what I do for a profession full time. Well, you might be thinking to yourself, well, I definitely don't know any realtors, so my mission is to find realtors first. You're right, you're exactly right. And I'm gonna show you how to get started with that. In your county, there are constantly real estate agents posting up photos on Instagram every single day of their listings. They are gonna be under hashtags. I live in San Diego, so constantly every single day, agents are hashtagging SD agent, hashtag SD realtor. So you definitely wanna type in the county followed by the realtor or agent hashtag. Now this gets funny here because agents think this is how clients find them, but really it's how we find agents. And hey, that's cool with me. And I will share a couple things about working with agents. A lot of the times they're not the easiest. They can be pretty difficult and they definitely want to see revision after revision. So just like a wedding, you need to make it clear what you can offer and tell them, hey, max I can do is 2 revisions, and you definitely want to make everything you do worth your time. Have your travel included, as well as anything such as drone. Is it a 30-second video or is it a minute video? You have to decide for yourself. And so finally, for real estate photography, I'm going to provide you guys one more tip, and this tip is huge. In real estate, every real estate transaction has to go through title. Title reps have hundreds of agents in their database. And if you can find yourself a title rep, again, using those hashtags we talked about, because they're always looking for agents and they're fishing for each other. They don't even know that we're fishing for both of them. If you find yourself a nice title rep in a luxurious market, they can connect you to hundreds of agents that are looking for videographers, photographers for listings every single day. Trust me, I know, I do it full time. So really there's no way that you can't find agents. Every single day there are hundreds of new listings in your county. You just have to look for them. Your ROI on this could be anywhere between $50 to $450. There's a bunch of different ways you can package this. You can tell realtors, hey, let's do photos for your MLS listing. That could be 25 to 27 photos of each room, the master bedroom, living room, etc., etc. And let's do a video, a 1-minute video of you talking about the square footage of it, the parking situation, the HOA, things of that nature that people care about. Get yourself a wide angle lens, get yourself a gimbal, as well as a little lav mic, and you'll be good to go. Trust me, people think that the real estate industry is saturated already with videographers, but I promise you it is not. There are hundreds of new real estate agents every single year, and they're just waiting to be on the map. So hey, I hope this information helped you guys. If you enjoyed it, again, consider scrolling down and subscribing. And if you liked the video, definitely give it a like. I said this last video, but I just want to say it again. The channel just hit 2,000 subscribers. I can't believe that, seriously. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for stopping by each and every week and commenting on every video. I truly appreciate it. And again, my goal here is to hit 10,000 subs and then right after that hit 50,000 subs. My objective is to do YouTube full time, but hey, I need your guys' help to get there. I know it'll happen someday, but it's just one day at a time. Thank you guys for stopping by the Wade Gretzky Show, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.